This cheap work fan just keeps getting more expensive. This time, $249, but there's a $40 core. We have a starter, we have some oil, we have a, somewhere over here, we have an oil pump. An Amazon $50 oil pump. Let's see how well this can go. So we're gonna put this on our Chevy Express. Let's go ahead and give you a startup to show where we're starting at oil pressure. So let's go outside to the van. We got a cold start. This has been sitting all day. Let's show you the original oil pressure we get when we cold starter. So it slowly ticks up, not quite to 20, pretty low, and it ticks right down. And we get a lot of lifter noise. You can hear it just slightly right now. So let's get this Chinese oil pump put on. Easy and deasy. Watch the whole process. First, we're gonna run some motor flush in her. Let's get the motor flush in, run it for 15 minutes, and then we'll show this oil draining with 6,000 miles on it. Alrighty, we ran that motor flush in this beautiful Chevy Express. Let's see how our oil's gonna look. This has got 6,000 miles. As always, never put oil back in. Any shiny, Liam?
Not that I see.
Alright, so maybe we're not her, we're just got a little oil pressure. And then we're gonna get this oil filter out of our, actually, we're taking the whole pan off, so no reason to take it off, so we take the pan off. And then we're just gonna loosen up this pan. We'll get the pan out of our way first. So we just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 2 bolts on the side, 5 on the other side, about 10 bolts. We'll drop this oil pan down. We got, take this bell housing bolts up the bottom there, which we're gonna take off anyways, put the starter in. So next shot, oil pan off. One last bolt on this oil pan and she's gonna be out. There she is. And we're just gonna drop her slowly and try to drop the least amount of oil as possible. Sludgy. Well, yeah, our pickup tube filter is just full of sludge. If you look right here, guys, see all that sludge blocking our pickup tube filter? It's just, that's that right there, and then this O-ring here, once we pop this off, it's probably pretty worn. But yeah, we're sludged up. We're gonna degrease the bottom of this pan very good and get this, let's get this pickup tube out of the way. Bolt here and bolts here. We'll get the pickup tube, and then we got to pull this harmonic balancer crank pulley and get to the front, pull the timing cover off, and pop the new oil pump on. But first, let's take our, we're gonna pull this pickup tube off. We're going to degrease this engine down here to try to get some of this sludge, because this is all just full of sludge, and that's where you get your oil pressure to the top of the engine, and it's, that filter's just clogged. So right there is part of our problem. Alrighty, in the process of dropping the oil pan, I want to make sure you guys can see everything so it's easy for you guys. This oil level sensor, I had to take a little pair of pliers like so and just turn it down, and on the top, if you come over here, you can see, you can just get a screwdriver, pry up under this plastic, and then you can, once you get it past the clip, that wire will pull right off, and then you can just tighten that right back up. And that's how you get that wire out. But alrighty, we went ahead and found out you can loosen the bottom part of this fan shroud. There's 3 screws in the middle and 2 on the bottom. And then we got her, once we loosened it, we were able to mangle the impact in here without taking the fan clutch off yet. I'm hoping we don't have to. We might have, yeah, we're gonna have to loosen the water pump up. Well, we got this Amazon puller on the crank pulley, and this with ease, it's coming right off. Instead of fighting it, just spend the 30 bucks and get the cheap Amazon tool. Germs. That crank boy will be out. So the way it works is you take one of these little shafts, you stick it in against the crank, and then you put the puller, and there's grooves in this pulley for the puller. And you just put your 3/8 ratchet on it and just tighten it way out. Alrighty. That should be all the way out. So now we're gonna go ahead and loosen up our puller and see if we did it enough. Nope, we didn't do it enough, but that's as easy it is. As you can see, we are out, so we're just going to tighten it back up and pull it the rest of the way, get this crank pulley out. Then we're going to take the fan clutch off. We'll show that. Then we're going to loosen the water pump and then pull the front timing cover off. So let's get this pulley out. Alright, after pulling that crank pulley off, we took the 6 bolts, made a mess of coolant. As you can see right here, I got the water pump just dangling with the fan still attached. We're not gonna have to pull that fan. Now we're just gonna take these timing bolts off of this cover, slip the cover off. We'll show you next with the cover off, and then we'll get that oil pump out. Like every job, if you're getting dirtier, you must be doing something wrong or right. We now have the timing cover off. Still with just the water pump set aside, we pulled the timing cover off. We got a new gasket, so like always, the new gasket's probably not right anyway, so you reuse the old one. All sludged up in here. That our pump, oil pump's probably full of gunk like that, so we're gonna have to degrease those pretty good. But here she is. Look at that, just caked with sludge. We're gonna get all this sludge cleaned off the front and the bottom, get that new oil pump on, get the pickup tube cleaned up, all new O-rings, and it's probably gonna sound like a brand new engine. If you guys like this video and we get 10,000 likes on it, I will cam this 200,000 mile Chevy Express, because why not? But let's go ahead. 4 bolts hold the oil pump on. We'll yank that right off. 4 bolts later, the oil pump's gonna slide right off. Holy wear. Holy sludge. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna zip it apart and let's investigate inside. Alright, we got the cover off of this oil pump. As you can see, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but there's quite a bit of scarring there. This oil pump probably was original with 180,000 miles, full of sludge, quite a bit of scarring. It feels pretty worn when you spin it. So let's go ahead and get that new oil pump on. And while I wait for my degreaser that I just sprayed, good old engine degreaser, bought a whole case. We're going to desludge all this engine. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to slap this new starter in here, which is just 2 bolts, plops right down, put the 2 wires right on it, and that's our starter done. Then we won't be chirping on the starts anymore. And then up here in the front of the engine, where the oil pump goes, we're going to slide the oil pump on. We're going to put the 4 bolts in that you took out. Then before we torque those down, we're just going to turn the crank to line the gears up just to make sure before we put it all together. And then over here, I don't know if the camera will pick her up, but there's a little Allen head in the block you can pull out. Right. Turn the light on. Let's see if. Right there, this little Allen head, you can pull that out and prime your oil pump so you don't start it dry. So get a syringe or something to pump some oil in there, fill that pump up so you don't grind it up. Then we're going to take a degreased cover, an oil pan, and our new gaskets. This goes on the front of the timing cover. These are the water pump and the O-ring. Make sure to put your O-ring, a new O-ring, always a new O-ring on this pickup tube, because that's right where you lose your oil pressure most of the time at first. Make sure this is all nice and clean, and put that back together. We'll go ahead, you can look up the torque specs for all this. Just make sure to torque all your covers back on. We'll go ahead and get it all put back together. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we'll show you putting oil in it next, guys. I think we're gonna get quite a bit more oil pressure, and I'd love to cam this thing, so make sure you like, and if you're gonna try to do your oil pump yourself, it's pretty easy. I got quoted $1,800 to get it done, and I was like, I have less than that in the van, so I'm like, so I'll get that all back together, guys. We'll get working on that, then we'll show you putting oil in it, and we'll see how our oil pressure does after all our oil pump work. And as always, I forgot to say in the beginning, make sure you unhook your battery before you do anything with the engine. You don't want to get hurt, so unhook that battery. Let's get to the oil. The moment of truth. We got oil in her, we got coolant in her. We're gonna see what she does on the first startup. Holy 40, wow. Let's go, guys, we doubled our oil pressure. Holy, we're even going above 40. That's a success, guys. Like and subscribe. We have oil pressure. We saved the cheap work fan. Yes! Taking out for a test drive. We're up to temperature. When we're cruising, cruising around 70 on the oil pressure. She's got her Apple CarPlay. We're back in action. You just can't wish for more on a cheap work van. Like, look at that beautiful oil pressure now. Now we can see how long the longevity of this Amazon cheap oil pump lasts. That's our next. Make sure to stay tuned to see the cam go in this and get this video and get us some subscribers so we can cam a Chevy Express. Thanks for watching.